What's going on, guys? Scar coming at you with another Magic the Gathering video. In today's video, we are going to be playing an Is It style build for cycling. Pretty much the focus here is to cycle as many cards as possible, pretty much pump up our creatures or trigger their effects based on cycled cards we do play. Overall, the goal is to pretty much play an aggro deck, use cycle for our pump cards, and hopefully kill our opponent before they can kill us. It is a budget-friendly deck. The deck can be built without really playing any rares in the deck. The only thing that's really rare in the deck, I think, is other than our companion, is a few of our lands. But there are versions you can play with either you just play white and red mana, and just not play the blue spells for themselves. And it's pretty cheap regardless of that. We do play the one companion because all our creatures are less than 2. So pretty much we play companion as a backup just in case we get a board wipe and want to get stuff back onto the battlefield. But overall, the deck is just to pump our guys with cycling, do the things, kill our opponent, play a spell maybe to finish them off. Game is over. Enough being said, let's go into the deck and kind of go over what cards we do that with. Alright guys, let's dive into the deck. Pretty much the deck is straightforward. We play very small creatures that we can play out very early, kind of get the advantage on our opponent as if we were playing an aggro deck. Most of the creatures are very small, so in the couple early turns it is kind of tough for them to live. So depending on how your hand goes, there's ways you can play around, depending on based on what your opponent's playing. If they're playing something more aggressive, something maybe that have burns, maybe you want to slow it up and not directly play a lot of your creatures immediately. Maybe leave a land open to cycle. But overall, the deck is pretty straightforward. We play Lurrus just in case we need to get set back from the graveyard. Pretty much it gets back all our creatures because we only play creatures that are 2 or less. Flourishing Fox is our bread and butter cycle card. Pretty much he gets a counter every time you play a cycle card, and you can also cycle him for 1. So if you just need to cycle a card to pump up another Flourishing Fox on the field, 1. Footfall Crater, it's there for if we want to, maybe in the end of the game, if we just have a big Flourishing Fox, but we just need that little bit of damage to get through, we can play this on one of our lands, give it trample, maybe haste, or we can cycle it for 1. Draineth Healer, another cheap cycler, as well as if we are playing against a deck that's a little bit more aggressive attacking our health pool, we can play him on the battlefield, cycle a card, gain 1 life back. Valiant Rescuer is our other solid creature card. Pretty much every time we cycle for the first time, we get a 1/1 white soldier token. We can also cycle him for 2. One of our little bit more expensive cyclers. The theme of the deck is most of our cycles are only 1 mana. Then we got this Startling Development, another card that we can more than likely cycle, but if we really need to, we can take one of our things, make one of our creatures a 4/4, and be able to block something maybe our opponent not expecting it, but yet again, cycle it for 1. Draineth Stinger, whenever we cycle another card, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Maybe if they're playing something with a little bit more control, we can kind of ping them while cycling, as well as we can cycle these for 1. Go for blood, we can take a large Flourishing Fox, have it fight another creature, or we can cycle this for 1. This is where it gets a little weird. This is the only reason why the deck calls that it has black in it, is just because we play the Memory Leak, not for the actual ability, but we play it because the cycling ability is 1. You can get the theme. Most of our cycling cards are super duper cheap, even if they're very expensive cards on the actual spell play. Zenith Flare is the finisher. Pretty much if we get the opponent low enough and we cycle enough cards in the game, we can drop one of these Zenith Flares. Maybe when our opponent's tapped out, if they're playing something a little bit more control-y, or we can catch them off guard and pretty much deal damage. It is actually kind of funny if we have one of these in our hand and our opponent plays a Garuda. Our opponent can pretty much dump a lot of our cyclers in the graveyard. We don't have to play the cyclers as long as there's just cards that just say cycling or cycle in the graveyard. It counts towards the X, and pretty much we deal X damage and we gain X life, where X is the number of cards with cycling ability in our graveyard. So they go off on Garuda, you play this your following turn. If you're still alive, you pretty much win the game, because they could, if they proc a bunch of times, you may have 10 15 cyclers by the time they actually play the Garuda. 15 damage, and they kind of, face palm, smack their desk, and flip it over and kind of call it a day. A couple more cyclers. We got the Frost Veil Ambush. Yet again, we mostly play for the cycle. Worst case scenario, if they got something big, we can also pay 5 mana, tap it down. Same thing with Boon of the Wishgiver. 6 cost, draw 4 cards, but cycle for 1. Our lands base is pretty straightforward. We play 6 plains, 3 mountains, 3 hollow fountains, 3 steam vents, 4 circuit foundries. Overall, the list is pretty solid. I haven't really had any mana issues. You can pretty much get away with playing 4 mana the whole game, as long as pretty much you pump up your Flourishing Fox and keep it pumped and out of range of burn spells. You can keep this alive and it will attack opponent's face. Yet again, It keeps it out of the way of Heartless Act because it will have counters on it, so the only thing the Heartless Act can do is remove 3 counters, but other than that, as long as you put counters on it, it gets out of Heartless Act. Other than that, the only thing they can play is a direct kill spell, which I have not seen much of. I've had pretty good success. I don't know if it's just because the deck is fairly budget friendly. There's not many rares other than, like I said, the lands and the 1 Lurrus, but overall the deck is fun. Let's dive into some games, see the gameplay. Let's get into it. So today we're playing some ranked. The one benefit to this deck is if you do go first, you can get some of your creatures out on the board before your opponent. This hand is not the best because we don't really have any creatures to play to get some board advantage. The goal is we want to get some early game board advantage, so I may mulligan this one, even though it's a 2-lander and I can play stuff in cycle. But the goal is we want to get something on turn 1 or turn 2 to hit our curve to kind of get something onto our opponent to make them feel a little bit of pressure. This hand is much better. We can pretty much play everything. We toss the Frostveil underneath because pretty much we can play everything. I mean, the hope would be to draw a white land so we don't have to shock ourselves, but worst case scenario, we can shock ourselves. We'll be nice and say hello. The one thing is too is there's a lot of sorceries and spells in this deck that we can play other than that, like Memory Leak, that are very useful in case we do need them later in the game. If we get our Flourishing Fox high enough, we can always go for blood. Or they're playing something mono blue. Maybe they're playing mono blue flash. I don't think they got a 1-mana counter, so we'll play the Flourishing Fox. Make them see if they have. Alright, they're playing Is It. That's fine. They're playing Is It like either budget or Is It like draws. So what we'll do here is we will actually go to combat. We'll attack in. They probably don't have anything, so we'll cycle. We'll cycle just for 1, just to draw damage. Now the thing is here is if they may have a land, what I want to do is pretty much make them think they can shock this. If they have it within range, that's fine. Yep, they're pretty much playing Is it like cycler, like, or not, is it budget, pretty much to get this up, so that is something we're gonna have to worry about, so it's already at 4, so this is where we may have to get aggressive and actually start cycling a lot, try to get this guy up high enough so that we can hopefully do damage through the face. I mean, if we can get this Flourishing Fox up high enough, we can also hit someone in the face. Also, having 2 of these are good because if we cycle enough times, we can also pretty much get these high enough that we don't have to worry about. I'm gonna say some cyclers. They play blue. They may play bounces. I have my opponent in a good spot. This is not gonna kill us this turn. If I attack next turn, they're below 10. That's perfectly fine. Let them gain their extra land. Resolve. They may play their side card here that pretty much allows them to draw a card. Because their thing is they're probably thinking like, okay, I can play this. Maybe they have a draw spell. That's perfectly fine. Let them get their creature. Resolve all. Pretty much they think they may have this. They're gonna play this on the end of my turn or if I attack. So we're gonna actually cycle this. Alright, they're letting it go through. So either they got something because they held it up or they have a draw card. I have 1 cycle. I have 2 cycles for 1. So we at least have 8. We'll play this and pay it. We'll go into battle here. I'm gonna attack, see if they bite on summoning that. They summon their Kraken. Go to blockers. Okay, we'll cycle. Auto pay. Now the goal. Now we want to hit a cycler here so they both don't die, because that'd be great. Alright, that's good. And they only have blue mana open, so it's not like they could do damage to us. Next thing they're getting hit for 9 next turn. They may have enough cards to play Uro, which that might be what they're doing. And if I cycle enough cards, I can just kill them to their face. That's perfectly fine. It's only a 5/3. If they actually play that, they actually get rid of a thing, it gets lower. My turn? Yeah, it's fine. What we probably want here is to play another land. Say go, attack in, go to blockers. It's fine. End turn. Now the goal is here is pretty much we can have them, if they tap out, to maybe draw out as much as possible. We get rid of all our cyclers in our hand, and we can do enough damage to their face. Because we can actually do 8 to the end of their turn. Put them in a spot where they are... Oh, that's perfectly fine. I'm all about that. Because they play additional land, but that I don't think is the biggest deal. Response. We're going to do 8 to the face. They think they may have a chance, but I think we got this, because unless they got a 1 blue counter, I don't think they're gonna be able to have a play. Yeah, let's just play it out. They have no hand, so it's not like they have anything they can play. We go to attackers. Good game. Response to the face. And that is how you can win, pretty much using that card as your bread and butter spell to finish them off. Alright, moving on to the next game. Opponent goes first. Hand is interesting, not great. Let's mulligan. I like this hand better. We have no red, but I like what we have here. We can definitely get rid of... We can definitely ban... I don't want to ban in the Zenith, because I think this is a Garuda. So I think I'm going to ban this. It's a Lunaris. Interesting. What kind of Lunaris deck are they playing? Are they playing Lunaris Aristocrats, or are they playing Lunaris Jeskai? Are they playing the same deck I'm playing? Interesting. Are they playing Shocks? No, they're playing the same deck. I mean, the question is, though, what are they doing to... They're not gonna exchange. That'd be dumb on them. Though they can't make their creature... Well, they can make their creature big enough, because they can make this a 4/4. That's probably fine. I don't mind if I take damage early, because we'll gain it back. And I think if they're playing legit the same exact list we're playing, they don't actually have any other burn spells other than the Zenith Flare. So, we don't really have to worry about that. Interesting, they hold back. We can pump ours. They can pump theirs twice. We can pump ours 3 times, but both bring them to a 4/4. What I could do as a trick, though, I think this effect still works. It doesn't say lose abilities. So let's go into combat. Let's double attack. See what happens here. Depending on how they block here. Let's see if they respond with their own cycle. I mean, I could cycle 2 more times. Are they gonna let it die? That's the question. Are they gonna save theirs? The other thing is they may have the same turtle, the Starling development, and pump theirs. That's fine. We'll let them exchange. They may play their Lunaris to try to get it back a turn. Our hope is that we can get a land and play our Lunaris and get back our guy. It's just a matter of who plays this better. Oh, they played that. Interesting. Because I guess they have the additional card draw. What we'll do here is we'll duplicate this. We'll play Lunaris. I mean, I'm playing this all out of turn. I should have played this second. We'll attack in. But we have our Flourishing Fox and Board Presence back. I don't think they'll cycle enough to get that. Alright, they're gonna cycle. They're looking for that land, it looks like. It looks like they're kind of land. Oh, there we go. It's like, do they play the creature? Yeah, they got the cleric. It's perfectly fine. I will play another land. I mean, I'll go into combat with everything. I have two things I can cycle here, so it depends. No matter how this goes, if they kill, you know what? Let's just go in all. Let's just be aggressive. Let's just be aggressive. I mean, I'll gain the life. Life gain is fine. We'll cycle. Next hit damage. We have them in vicinity of pretty much having them dead next turn. Even if they play this, that's gonna go up to 3. Resolve. They're at 6, so they're in a predicament here. That's fine. They may cycle to gain a 1 life. Yeah, let's see, cycle to gain a life. Knew it. I know my deck. Let's cycle ourselves. Get another token. Make the board just that little bit wider. Get the land out of our way, you know, always good. This is either 6 or this is 6. So either way, they're dead. Good game. Team, you'd be like, wait, what is he talking about? We'll do damage first. X damage, finish him off. Good game. I mean, I could have done that instead of attacking in, but you know, gotta attack in and do the things. We go first. This hand's actually promising. We have the Flourishing Fox. Looks like we're playing. I don't know if we played this person already, and we don't have a pain land to shock land to bring in at the beginning. So as long as we're not running red, I feel very good about our deck. Hoping it's some sort of other color but red. Crap. That's perfectly fine. I'm gonna actually pay this. This may be the more aggressive version, so wait, does the aggressive version still play? I think they still play Scorch Bitters. You wanna exchange? You wanna be my friend? No? Well, I might as well get this out of shock range. Do a little extra damage, because they're gonna, if I don't get into them early, then you know, they'll just do the same to me. Ooh, that's actually not bad. I actually like this card. It's actually unique because it gives our card trample. So, all right, they're playing Cavalcade. It's fine. I feel like I actually get aggressive here and enchant one of our lands. And go to attacks. It's like, does he want to attack? Does he want to block here? It's like, let's just give it trample. And why don't we just get some extra points of damage in? We have the Zenith, so it's like we have the extra damage. I mean, it's possible they could have a shock and whatchamacallit, a giant. Still fine. It's just gonna be a race, but I'm in Zenith. I'm almost in Zenith mana land. Let's reload our hand. Ooh, get another Fervent Champion. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Part of me still wants to do the same thing. Just attack in, see what happens. I'll give it trample again. It's like I also want to land. The land would just be so helpful, but it makes sense to why we don't have a land. Because that would just make this so much easier. Are we dead? Did I put ourselves in jeopardy of just getting killed? Two. They have a shock. That's 6. 7. I'm in shock range. 1. All right, I'm not dead. Awesome. Fudge. Because it's like... it's like I need the one there. Great. Thank you. Thank you, game. Let's float you. I mean, Cyclone's colorless. Oh my goodness, game. I'm gonna be one short again, I think. It'd be really funny if I ran like Fling or something. Oops. He forgot to block. Oh my goodness, I sold the land. All right, let's see if we can get not as... I mean, we don't have the Fox, but we're going first. So I think I'm just gonna... We're against a Lunaris deck. Interesting. It just tapped. Say go. Now, is it the same Lunaris deck? Alright. I'm gonna shock this one in, play this. So the only downfall to him is that you only get 1/1/1 every time you play a 1/1. Or every time you cycle. So it's like you don't get many. That's fine. I have a combo, I have a trick. I don't think, is he gonna block is the question. All right, I mean, if you're not gonna block, I will let you take the damage. Because he's not going to attack in, at least I would hope, not attack in into a 1/1 with his 3/1. I think he messed up. Though, I mean, we could have startled in, but we wouldn't have drawn a card, so... Alright, he's gonna cycle, get a 1/1, that's fine. Resolves. You only get 1 though. Maybe he's trying to get the box. Oof. Got another one. Well, I'll just take advantage of it and just play another 1/1. And there's our land. Because to him, that is like a wall of things. I mean, he just pretty much prevented us from allowing us to have an army of getting 2 1/1s a turn. So maybe he plays does another thing to get a 1/1, then attacks us. He's looking at Lunaris. I don't know what he gets. He doesn't have any creatures in there. Lunaris isn't going to do anything for you. I mean, Lunaris gives him something. I don't know. All right, he's playing it. Nice. So he's going to be able to ping me. Pass to attackers. My turn. I will cycle and get my free 1/1. You're going to cycle as well and get your free 1/1? I will do the same. Will you get your free 1/1? It's fine. Trigger, 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 trigger. All of the cycle triggers. I'm all about killing this. I'll kill your pinger. Should have went smarter. I'll be quite honest, we don't have to get him that much lower and then we kill him. Because we have Zenith Flare just chilling in our bag. Ooh, nice. Got another one. Yeah. This okay, you get a 1/1 to block my 1/1. That's fine. Block. Get in there, and turn. I got a couple things up my sleeve. I think he needs a land. How many cycles does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 in his graveyard, so he may be trying to get to a Zenith Flare. He knows I'm counting. I can't see how many token counters you got. Would you attack? Would attack. I will take that exchange any day. Unless you got another one. I can see him Zenith flaring early though. We're both at 7. Alright, that's fine. I will resolve that with a cycle. Let's see what he does here. Does he have something? Or does he let this go? Does he know what I have? Yay. And I'll play a healer. So if this dies, then they both Then he gains life up to 10. This goes to 10. Nice. Resolved. I wonder if he has it. That's the thing. Does he have one? I think he's dead either way. If he doesn't attack, he's not going to attack because this will just block. He can only play one of these back, which I would assume he plays the one that makes tokens, if I was him. But if he taps out, then he can't Zenith Flare. So then he's dead. Alright, so he's not doing that. He's dead because this will go up to 10 once we cycle. Did he not shock that? He didn't shock it. So it puts him in another pickle. That's fine. Drawing. Sure. I'll take a token. I'll just take a game because I already know what's going to happen. Zenith Flare to the face. Alright guys, bringing it back to the end here, we're going to just break down the deck real quick, kind of see how, talk about how things went. I think, like I said, the deck played overall very well. We did get beat out by a couple decks on the recording of this. Overall, the matchups weren't that terrible. Just the decks are just a little bit outclassed for what this deck offers in the way of speed. It's just that our opponent was able to pretty much get on top of us damage-wise early, and we just never recovered. It takes a little bit. It takes like a turn or two extra than maybe like one of the faster, like more expensive decks to kind of get that ramp up with the spells. But overall, the deck, I mean, when it works, it works. I mean, that Flourish and Fox, just pumping that bad boy up, making it a threat that your opponent has to deal with, is something that's very interesting. I mean, we played very well against our mirror matchups, even if it looked a little iffy at times. I think we just overall just had the better plays. I think some of our opponents were actually a little bit new to the deck. For what it is, I mean, for a deck that literally plays nothing that's rare, everything's uncommon, the power of just having a 1-cost 1/1 that every time you cycle a card it gets pumped up, and then with the effect of Lunaris, which we didn't use a lot. I mean, Lunaris actually ended up just being a body. Our opponent saw it and we just kind of ate damage and gained life. Overall, the deck performed very, very well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of this deck overall. I mean, for a budget-friendly deck that, like I said, requires barely any rares, you can take out the rare lands and just put in common dual lands if you really want to play this deck and actually have the dual lands, or you can just play the deck and just play all the same cycling cards and just take out all the blue mana and just add in red and white. The deck overall is fine-tuned in that way that you can just cycle, because cycling's colorless and it's not affected by not having, you know, that land color, just to play, you know, a Starland Development or Frostveil Ambush. I mean, to be honest, that's not why we're playing those cards. We're just playing them because they're just cheap cyclers. But like I said, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you guys want to know I post more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And also let me know down in the comments below one more thing. If you want to see more decks that are based around like budget friendliness and things that maybe not cost a lot of rare cards and stuff that aren't super duper meta, in the sense that, like, you know, we're not playing 40 of our cards in our deck are rares or higher, let me know down in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next video.